Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Gardening with 1Me and Zone 5B. My name is Janelle and I'm here to help take the intimidation out of gardening. Today's video is a little bit different. We're going to actually do some foraging. Now, I don't have stinging nettle on my property, but I have wood nettle, also known as Canadian nettle. And nettle is one of those things that's got some medicinal properties. I wasn't able to pick any for the last couple of years. So when I found that it had migrated here on my property from across the creek, I was pretty happy. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about and we'll go from there. Right now we're looking at wood nettle, and it's got more of a like a teardrop shape, where stinging nettle has more of like an arrow shape to it. Nettle is good for things like inflammation, which I have arthritis issues. It's good for your prostrate, lowering blood pressure, lowering blood sugar. It's got calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium. It's got a bunch of amino acids. The nutrients are all antioxidants, so you know antioxidants are a good thing. You can steam this to eat it with like a little bit of butter, or if you dry it, you can make a tea. And this morning, this is what made me think of it, is because I made some tea and it tastes like green beans. So it's not a terrible taste. Now it's stinging, so I'm gonna be putting some gloves on. It has something called formic acid on little hairs. Let me see if we can find like a good picture here. I don't know if you can really see it in the sunlight, like on this area here. And formic acid is actually what makes bee stings sting. So it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna put some gloves on and let's go and pick some. All right, so I've got some gloves on, I've got my scissors here. If you're new to this or in a really dense patch of nettle, I would recommend some sort of arm covering as well. And all I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna take the nicer leaves, because I feel like I have such a nice selection from Nature's grocery store here. And I picked some yesterday, so I'm not going to have to really pick a whole bunch. So this is all I'm really picking. And then I'll take it up to the house. I will wash it. And no, this leaf here is kind of chewed up, you see? So I'm not going to use that one, but I'm going to take the rest. But I was saying I was going to wash this and kind of pat it dry and get it dehydrating. Once you cook nettle or dehydrate it or freeze dry it, the little formic acid hairs become less or almost non-existent of a problem. But it's when they're in this stage here, this is when it gets to be a little painful. So we'll just pick a couple more here. This one's not too bad. Not too bad. The bugs are really starting to chew these up. So anyway, all right, I got my sink with some cold water in it. And I'm just gonna dump these in here. There we go. I'm gonna put my gloves on just to kind of swish them around in the water. Get rid of any insect residue, dust. Dandelions are flying around right now, so there's a lot of that. Like this. And then I'm just going to move it over here into this colander. Kind of let it drain out a little bit. And I do find that moving it around helps drain it a little bit better. And then, all right, so now let's give these guys a little rinse. I'm just going to kind of use my gloved hand to move them around, get any dust particles that might not have been in the water. There. That should be good. Now you notice it's not a whole lot, but that's because I picked some yesterday. And I don't need a whole lot, I'm just one person. All right, so let's go over by our cookie sheets and put these on there. All right, all I'm going to be doing is this. And I've got a couple cookie sheets all set up, ready to roll. I will probably remove these stems. Well, that's just an imperfection. After they dry, just because I don't want to handle them so much with them being in their picky stage. And for now, if they overlap a little bit, it's not the end of the world. I also wanted to show you that I have one of these racks You would use this on your desk for like papers. And my sister was getting rid of some stuff, and she goes, come here and take a look if you want anything before I get rid of it. So I grabbed this for dehydrating. Wow. Let's see if I can get one or two more on here. These dehydrate actually kind of quick. Not that I would jar them up at this point for later use, but they do dehydrate really quick. Here's an example of yesterday's. So it's getting there. All right, let's get these in here. There. When you crush these up, I mean, what you put in your little tea ball or your tea steeping thing, it's not that much. And it tastes like green beans. So if you like green beans, you'll like this kind of tea. So don't sweeten it until you actually try it. I hope I don't regret this. Thing is, too, if you ever touch the plant with bare fingers, don't rub your face, don't rub your eyes. We'll put that on a different one. That should be enough for this one. Whoa. Then let's just do this one here. I might just have just enough space for these. I won't have to use that other rack until tomorrow. Yep. So there we go. So now I'm just going to let these dry out on their own. I hope you found this video informative. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great weekend. Bye.